President, Vice Presidents, distinguished respected judges of the International Criminal Court, Madam President, Vice President of the Assembly of State Parties, respected President of the Supreme Court of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, President of the Kosovo Special Court, dear Deputy Prosecutors, Acting Registrar, President of the International Criminal Court Bar Association, distinguished members of the Diplomatic Corps, civil society organizations, friends, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. When I was mulling over what to say in these remarks, of course, one could look at a classical speech on the independence and impartiality of the rule of law, the importance of the law from so many different perspectives, to the individual, to society, to the international community. One could talk about goals and aspirations, mention achievements and accomplishments. But as the President said, the opening of the judicial year is not simply ceremonial. It's an opportunity that forces us to pause and to reflect. And my short message, the thrust of my short message today, with the opportunity that I have been given, is really to focus and express gratitude to the staff of this institution, to the work of civil society organizations and to the states that support us, and most importantly by far, to the heroic, indefatigable courage of victims and witnesses who continue against the odds to have belief that justice can prevail in this cruel world, that continue to speak with us, to give their stories, to give their accounts, have faced the most pernicious acts possible, believing that an ideal, judges without guns, without arms, with no coercive methods, an institution that is as strong as the states that back it, can prevail to ameliorate the condition of humanity. And we know climate change takes many forms. Madam President, we've seen global warming affecting the oceans. But we've also seen increasingly in international relations for some years now, as global warming goes up, a cooling and indeed a freezing in some parts of international relations. And this freeze without thaw in many areas is fracturing predictability and stability of international relations. And whilst it is cold, it is winter, storms when people come in physically but also metaphorically, whilst warrants may have been issued against elected officials of the court, while sanctions may be threatened or imposed against us, I think it's really important to recognise that all of us as elected officials, prosecutor, deputies, judges, registrar, are temporary custodians within our own mandates of something much, much, much more important than us as individuals. In other perspectives, we are, and rightly should be, ships that pass in the night. The best of this court, in my view, the heart of this institution, are our staff. The drivers that bring witnesses and staff to and from airports, the security officers that we have in the court, that we have on the entrance, that we have outside, that keep us safe, the cleaners, the administrative staff, the interpreters, the translators, the lawyers, investigators, analysts, witness protection officers, the travel staff, the financial experts, the outreach officers, in all organs of the court, that every single day, out of the spotlight, labour against the odds to serve. They represent, and it's important to remember that, they represent the collective memory of this place. They represent the best of our values and are the anchor of the Rome Statute in operation, because they work under the guidance of the elected officials and the mandate of the Rome Statute to give effect to the promise of the Rome Statute. So it's only right to recognise this continuity and hope, and to state very clearly, without drama, that however cold the winter, however long the nights may be, or however short the hours of daylight may get, spring will come. Spring will come. And when the green shoots of spring will be seen, and they will be seen, I hope and pray that the staff remember that seeing through this winter and seeing the spring, and even in the Holland we hope for summer, that achievement will very much be down to their perseverance, to your perseverance, determination. And why is that? It's because they recognize this court is not about us as people, staff or elected officials. They realize this court is about justice, and the victims, the millions of victims, Madam President, that you referenced in your opening remarks, that look to this institution not as bricks and mortar or glass, but look at it as a promise to the past and a promise to the future, that there can be accountability and a better tomorrow. And when the storms come, it's also important to recall, to strain our sinews, that attacks are not only against individuals or officials or an institution. An attack on an institution that is dedicated to the rule of law is an attack on victims. And understanding that should allow us collectively to join hands with so many states, with so many civil society, with people of good conscience everywhere, to resist, to protect, and to work, and to serve. And work that this court as a whole endeavours to do every day with fantastic civil society organisations, small, humble ones in refugee camps all around the world, with large civil society as well, with so many states that try to ensure that promises made are promises kept, that they're not sacrificed on the altar of expediency or transactional relationships. That collective effort focused on achieving the goals of the Rome Statute is driven not from some naivety, but because too many in the world, not just victims, those that are doing work every single day, have seen the consequences when Rome Statute obligations are ignored and societies fragment and the lives of too many innocents are torn apart, ruined.